Hello dear students. Today we are going to study application of Kirchhoff's law to the Wheatstone bridge. So what is a Wheatstone bridge? It is nothing but a simple arrangement of resistances. You can see there are 4 resistances connected to form a quadrilateral, out of which one resistance is not known and all other resistances are known. So if I take P, Q, R to be known resistances, by using Wheatstone bridge we can find out what is the value of S. So let us start, students. Students, let us apply Kirchhoff's voltage law or KVL to solve and find out the condition for balanced Wheatstone bridge. So what is a Wheatstone bridge, students? A Wheatstone bridge is nothing but an arrangement of resistances. You can see there are 4 resistances P, Q, R, S. These 4 resistances are arranged in form of a quadrilateral. And why do we have Wheatstone bridge arrangements of resistances? Wheatstone bridge arrangement of resistances means I have arranged 4 resistances in form of a quadrilateral, and we do this to find out the unknown resistances out of the 4. For example, I know P how much resistance it is, I know Q how much it is, I know S how much it is, but I do not know what is the value of R in the circuit. So there are 4 resistances out of which one resistance is not known to us. So to find out unknown resistance in a circuit, we take the arrangement called Wheatstone bridge. So you can see, students, this is a Wheatstone bridge. This Wheatstone bridge is connected to an EMF E, and this Wheatstone bridge has a galvanometer along the diagonal of the quadrilateral. So let me take the resistance of this galvanometer to be G and the current flowing through the galvanometer to be Ig. So what happens in a Wheatstone bridge? Our target is to find what is the condition for a balanced Wheatstone bridge. What is a balanced Wheatstone bridge? A balanced Wheatstone bridge is nothing but the condition when the current through the galvanometer will be 0. So a balanced Wheatstone bridge is nothing but the current through this arm will be 0. That is, no current will flow through this galvanometer. When this happens, the Wheatstone bridge is said to be balanced. So what is the condition when the current through the galvanometer will be 0? That condition we can find out by using Kirchhoff's voltage law. So here, students, we need to find out unknown resistance using Kirchhoff's voltage law. So students, here you can see there are 4 resistances P, Q, R, S arranged as a Wheatstone bridge and connected to an EMF E. So I current is flowing through the Wheatstone bridge and I current is coming out of the Wheatstone bridge, and you can see there is distribution of current at every junction. So this is the first junction. You can see I1 current is flowing through the resistance P. That means if I current is entering and I1 is leaving, this branch will be I minus I1. So similarly, when I1 current is flowing through P at this junction, students, Ig current flows through the galvanometer. That means the current flowing through Q will be I1 minus Ig. Similarly, you can see I minus I1 current is flowing through S and Ig current is flowing through the galvanometer. So the current flowing through this resistance R will be I minus I1 plus Ig. So I have written I minus I1 plus Ig. So this current and this current, again they will meet at this junction and form again I and flow to the battery or the cell that is connected to the Wheatstone bridge. So students, let me name the junctions A, B, C, D. So there are how many loops in this circuit, students? There are 3 loops. So there is a loop 1, 2 and 3. So all the 3 loops we can use Kirchhoff's voltage law or the loop rule to find out a condition when the Wheatstone bridge is balanced. That is, the current flowing through the galvanometer will be 0. So students, let us apply Kirchhoff's voltage law for the first loop. So you can see in the first loop I1 current flows through P and I minus I1 current flows through S and Ig current flows through G. So I have taken a clockwise direction of my own convenience. So you can see, students, my direction which I have taken is in this direction, and you can see that is the same direction of current I1. Similarly, that is the same direction of current Ig. But when I traverse upward, the current direction is opposite to my direction. So that's why the I1P product will be positive. Similarly, IgG product will be positive. But I minus I1S product will be negative because the direction which I have taken and the current direction is opposite. So this equation 1 will be given as I1P to be positive, IgG to be positive, but I minus I1S to be negative. And since there is no cell connected to this loop, so the total EMF in this loop will be 0. So I have put a 0 because there is no cell or battery connected to the first loop. Similarly, let me take the second loop, students, that is loop BCDB. So I have taken again my direction to be clockwise direction, and you can see my direction and the current direction is same for Q, and it is not same for R, neither same for G. That's why only the product of current and resistance for Q will be positive, and the product of current and resistance R will be negative. Product of current and resistance G will be negative. So I will get my equation. You can see, students, only the product of current and resistance for Q is positive, and the product of resistance and current for R is negative, and the product of resistance and current for G is negative. So what current flows through Q? I minus Ig current flows through Q. So I minus Ig into Q. What current flows through R? I minus I1 plus Ig current flows through R. So I minus I1 plus Ig current flows through R. And what current flows through G? Ig current flows through G. So this is the product of current and resistance for second loop. So students, what I have done is, for the first loop and second loop, I have arranged such that I have taken I1P and IgG at one side, and I have taken I minus I1S at the other side, that is RHS. So this is my equation number 1 for the first loop, and let me take the negative ones to the other side. So this is my equation number 2 for the second loop. So these are my equation 1 and 2 for first loop and second loop for by using KVL. So students, what is the condition for Wheatstone bridge to be balanced? The current Ig should be 0. So for equation 1 and for equation 2, let me substitute Ig to be 0. So if Ig is 0 in equation 1, then I have I1P equals to I minus I1S. So I have written I1P equals to I minus I1S. For second equation, if my Ig is 0, that is my Wheatstone bridge is balanced, then I have I1Q is equals to I minus I1R, because Ig is 0. So I have I1Q and I minus I1R. So I have two equations when Ig is equals to 0, that is I1P equals to I minus I1S, and I1Q equals to I minus I1R. Dividing both the equations, I get P by Q equals to S by R, or P by S is equals to Q by R. So students, this is nothing but the condition for a balanced Wheatstone bridge. So if any one resistance is not known to us, by using this condition P by Q equal to S by R, easily we can know the unknown resistance. So as earlier I have told that the R is the unknown resistance and all other three resistances are known to us, we can easily find out the unknown resistance R by using the condition of balanced Wheatstone bridge, which is equals to P by Q equals to S by R. So this is how we use Kirchhoff's voltage law for a balanced Wheatstone bridge and find its condition for the balanced Wheatstone bridge. So the balanced Wheatstone bridge condition is P by Q equals to S by R, or P by S is equals to Q by R. We can use any of the two ratios to find out the unknown resistance in the Wheatstone bridge.